Butte, Montana. Montanans joke, and only Montanans can make the joke. It's also Butt, Montana. And we call it Butt because sometimes, now I love it, it's where I grew up, but it was a hard town. This is a picture of me when I went back in college to check it out. And, you know, house was always falling apart. My two parents, working full-time between the two of them, really struggled to raise us 4 kids. We were slightly below the poverty line when I was growing up. My dad and I were always climbing up on the roof or putting one other piece of rock underneath that little pillar that held up that part of the roof. It was always leaking and always broke, and it was a hard time. And I remember one winter the heat went out in our house. I was little. I was like maybe, let's see, 6, 7 years old, and the heat goes out. Which, look, anywhere else in the world sometimes, when the heat goes out, it's an inconvenience. When the heat goes out in Butte, Montana, it's life-threatening in the winter. Because we'll get 20, 30 below zero, and that's not even counting wind chill factor. It's freezing. Heat goes out, but Mom and Dad, they can't afford to fix the heater. So we gotta wait 2 weeks until my dad gets the paycheck to fix the heater. All these people are coming in and they're trying to fix the heater and doing their best, but they can't fix it, unfortunately. And so my mom, being resourceful like a lot of you have been just to get here, a lot of you really struggled and fought and worked your asses off to get in this room here. So real quick, would you all celebrate each other for the hard work it took to get in this stadium? Matter of fact, if you're happy that your friends are here, would you turn to the person to your left and your right, grab their shoulders, shake them, and thank them for being here. Grab them, shake them, thank them. I'm thankful you're here. I'm thankful you're here. Well, because it took resourcefulness to get in a room like this and be here. Well, my mom heaters out. What does she do? She goes out to the garage. She grabs our sleeping bags, puts them in that front little room there. She goes back to the garage. She gets our camping tent. Comes back to the room. She sets up the camping tent in our living room amidst a 30 below zero cold winter. Throws in our sleeping bags, throws in our parkas, throws in our electric blankets, and she pretends that we're camping. Us kids, we're so young and dumb, we don't know what's going on. So we're walking to school. I remember going to school and I'd walk in, you know, like whatever, it was first grade, second grade, I can't remember. I'd walk in and I'd talk to the kids, I'm like, where'd you sleep last night? They're like, well, in my bedroom. I'm like, I slept in a tent. In my living room. Yeah, my family, we're camping. What are you guys doing tonight? I had no idea. But I love to say, you know, we grew up with nothing, but we grew up with total abundance. You know what I mean? Thank you. We grew up with abundance because I was blessed to have 2 amazing, loving parents. People always say, Brendon, you're so lucky with everything that's happened in your life, and I say, you're right. And the number one thing I lucked out with was love in my family. So for those who have families, you love them. Just love them with everything you've got. You know? Well, you can see in this picture, behind the house, there's this, you know, broken down apartments. My brothers were always tricking me to go up in the apartments, and then they'd prank me and scare me. We had an empty lot next to the house. It was a tough place to grow up. And why do I share that? Because if I had set my ambitions in my life based on that house, that block, that neighborhood, my parents' reality at that time, the community I grew up in, if my ambitions were fixed to my then circumstances, if my ambitions were fixed to my past, if my ambitions were fixed to what everybody else thought and felt and dealt with and had in their lives, I wouldn't get to be here with every single one of you. There's something that happens. It's a transformational moment. Many of you have already had it in your life, where you said, I'm ready to go to a new level. And some of you are going to make that decision here today. But there's another level for you that's required for you to reach because of your family, your goals, your dreams, the mission you want to serve. Every one of you someday will make that decision to go to another level, and that ambition will change your life. It was the ambition to not just get outside of my town, but to give back to my town, to grow and to give so much bigger. I would never have gotten to be here. I would have never gotten to meet people like this. I did. Me, a kid from Butte, Montana. And don't worry, if those guys are too liberal for you, I also got those guys. Bill Gates and George Bush. I never imagined that I'd get to hang out and work with media moguls. That's Ariana Huffington and Steve Forbes. My big childhood dream, the people who made a big difference in my life, who I wanted to meet, I never knew I'd get to hang out with these guys. I never knew. Kid from Butte, Montana. I would never have had the ambition to say, I want to work with the most influential people in the world. I never had it. I wouldn't have had it if it was based on where I came from, or my college, or my friends. I certainly never would have gotten to work with Miss O. You know? Some of you know one of my most famous, probably high-performance clients, my main man, Usher. Oh, man. If you want to talk about high performance and another level of ambition, you got to hang out with him. He's unbelievable. Unfortunately, I haven't learned his dance moves yet, but someday. I got to meet the man who changed my life so significantly. Many of you know him. We lost him 2 years ago. And it's the late, great Wayne Dyer. And he changed my life. Because my ambition wasn't fixed to my past, I got to meet other people and have them on my stages at High Performance Academy, what I do. People who just, they changed my life. They were so inspiring. I don't know, like this guy. I love this picture of he and I. We have so much fun together. Look, I'm the biggest Tony Horton fan out there. I know many of you guys are too. Make sure you take his online course. It's Living Large. It's amazing. And Tony he really is who he is. And if you've met him, he's kept his humility, his hard work ethic, and his deep compassion and care for all of you. He's so amazing. I got to work with and have in my audience who I didn't even know was going to be there, someone who I deeply admire and respect. You know that, Chalene Johnson. We have so much fun too. I was at her event just cracking up, having so much fun. I mean, what I love about Chalene and Tony is with both of them, they're so driven and they have high ambitions. And not just for you, but for themselves and their family, for me even. They both raise my game as much as I try to raise them. And I love hanging out with them. I mean, you're hanging out with Tony Horton or Chalene, you never know what they're going to do. They're going to surprise you because they always got a big dream for you. They're going to challenge you to do something. You could be hanging out with Tony Horton, he'll just walk along and be like, boom! Chalene, all y'all. I got fun with these people. You know, another one I just got recently meet, I'll tell you what, I went to headquarters and I got to hang out with Carl. And I'll tell you what, I was so sick. When I went there, I was feeling terrible. You can see just the pain in my eyes. And I go there feeling terrible. And we start our meeting. And look, you guys know, if you go to, and you have the blessing of sitting down with Carl Deichler, you want to be on your A game. I'm thinking of how to share ambitions with him, even bigger than the company already is. I'm thinking of all these things, but I feel terrible. We're halfway through the meeting, and I want to die. I've been to like 7 different cities. I just came out of like heat stroke. I mean, I was sick when I got there. He didn't know how bad off I was. And then, thank you God, he asked his assistant to make 2 shakes. And she put a banana in that chocolate vegan, and she brought it over. She set it down, like, 10 minutes later, I'm like, up at the board. Write it down. When I say I love Beachbody, I love your product, too. How many Shakeology nuts in the room, ladies and gentlemen? Me too. It saved the whole meeting. He didn't even know I came alive. I'm right bored. I'm like, let's go. I raised my ambition beyond where I came from. You got to do it. If you want to go to another level in your life, your ambition must rise above your yesterday. You got to do it. Something inside of you has to make that switch and say, I want a better quality of life for my family, my friends, the people around me. And look, if you're ever unmotivated on a Wednesday, you know, you ever wake up in the morning, you're driven, you're fired up, you're so excited, and then 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're on the couch watching the 3rd season of something on Netflix. And you're like, oh my God, I just watched 3 seasons. What happened is, somewhere throughout the day, you got disconnected from your ambition. Now, some people don't like the word ambition. I say, look, well, maybe it's desire. Maybe it's for you, it's what Les Brown taught us. You got to be hungry. Hunger, desire, purpose, mission, those are ambitions for another quality of life. When I worked with the Dalai Lama and his head Buddhist monk, I said, do you, desire in Buddhism is kind of like one of these things, it's good or bad. I said, what do you feel like that? And they talked about how desire to too much attachment can be a bad thing. I said, well, isn't it true though, when you meditate, you want to go deeper into your meditations? You want to find another level of truth and depth? I said, yeah. I said, well, that's ambition. There's an ambition for your meditation even to get better at it. Ambition for you to get better at sales. Ambition for you to be better with your family, be a better mom. So follow that. If there's a voice within that is stirring and it's saying, be more and give more and work more, listen to that. Listen to it. Even if the people around you go, whatever. Even if the people around you don't get it, listen to that ambition. Because when you listen to your ambition and you chase it, things change for you and your family. I can show you all the fancy pictures in the world of Oprah or Usher, all the amazing people I work with, but my favorite picture in the world is this one. It was my first seminar, and we kind of had a little theater night there, and that's my dad and my mom in the picture. It's my favorite picture of all time. And I would lose my dad to leukemia just 2 years after this picture, 3 years after this picture. And to know that I followed my dream to something, and then I got to take care of my parents towards the end of their life. I know some of you had that blessing and some of you didn't, but I can share with you, raise your ambition for your family and do the work. Raise your ambition for your family and do the work. Can I get an amen on a Friday, ladies and gentlemen? Amen. The Careless Family. Second big idea I have to share with you